Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for this fifth STIG Space Policy Seminar, focusing on space industry promotion in India and Japan. My name is Quentin Verspieren. I'm an assistant professor at the Graduate School of Public Policy of the University of Tokyo. Let me share my screen. To give a short introduction to this webinar. We are really glad to have a lot of registrants today, some who returned from previous webinars and a lot of new ones. So welcome to all of you. Today's webinar exceptionally is co-organized with another organization, a think tank called Spaceport Sarabhai, that will be introduced later on by one of its co-founders. And in the meantime, I will like to acknowledge and thank Dr. Shreya Santra from Spaceport Sarabhai for helping me to organize this event. So before starting with the contents, so the keynotes and the panel discussion, I would like to tell you a bit about the organization hosting this event, the Science, Technology, and Innovation Governance Program of the University of Tokyo. So the STIG program, in short, is a university-wide graduate education program in science, technology, and innovation governance that is a joint venture of various graduate schools at the University of Tokyo. So Graduate School of Public Policy, Engineering, Science, Law and Politics, Medicine, Economics. And the idea is to have a multidisciplinary perspective on STI governance. And similar programs were organized in various universities in Japan, such as Kyoto, Osaka universities, as part of a national program spearheaded by the Ministry of Education and Science of Japan. In this program, we have at every time around 200 students registered, most of them being from public policy, engineering, and the rest from all the other graduate schools at the University of Tokyo. So beyond the content itself, the cohort of students participating in the program is also very diverse and multidisciplinary. A quick mention of our space policy team as part of the STIG program. So the program itself doesn't focus only on space, but on various issues of STI governance, including biomedical, energy, and space. And so here are some of our experts, either full-time faculty, affiliated faculty, or visiting researchers from various organizations in Japan. And I'm glad today to be here along with Professor Kazuto Suzuki, who will be one of the speakers and who is our leading expert on space policy at the University of Tokyo. Just to mention a few activities, so we are very present in conferences, we publish in academic journal. In particular, recently we published a book, the first book focusing on the history of ASEAN space programs. And we are involved in various studies. And so if, like Spaceport Sarabhai, you would like to discuss potential cooperation for events or studies with us, do not hesitate to contact me. You can find all our contact information on the STIG webpage. So just type STIG, S-T-I-G, University of Tokyo, and you should be able to find us. Another point I would like to insist on is that the Graduate School of Public Policy and the STIG program is currently the only major center of space policy education and research in Asia. A new one being Spaceport Sarabhai, hence the importance of today's webinar to seal the cooperation between Japan and India on space policy research. And our teaching is open to students, but also early or mid-career professional. We are not only a purely academic school, but we have a professional program. So open to everyone interested in pursuing a master or PhD degree in public policy, with the possibility to do your actual research on space policy. And one of our core mission is to disseminate space-related information in the Asia-Pacific region through various means, including our series of monthly webinars that we started this year, and of which this webinar is the 5th installment. Now, about today's webinar, it will focus on space industry promotion in India and Japan. So India and Japan are two of the most historic space powers in Asia. And in recent years, the space industry in both countries has been changing a lot for various reasons. Some are national government policy, some are increased investment, more activities of universities in creating spin-off, etc., etc. So we will look at all these elements in today's webinar. It will be organized as follows. We will have two short keynotes, one on space industry promotion in India, focusing on the role of InSpace, a new agency of the Department of Space, with Dr. Vinod Kumar, the director of the Promotion Directorate at InSpace, followed by a keynote focusing on Japan, and in particular the role of the space agency JAXA in promoting national space industry. And we are really glad to have Mr. Shinichi Takata, advisor to the director at the Business Development and Industrial Relations Department at JAXA. And finally, we'll have our two keynote speakers will be joined by two great experts, respectively from Japan and India, to have a panel where we'll address various aspects of industry promotion in both countries. Please do not hesitate to submit your questions using the Q&A box available at the bottom of your screen. All the questions will be asked and answered during the panel, but please do not hesitate to start to submit questions during the keynotes, and I will not forget to ask them during at the end of the panel. And your questions can, of course, be addressed to any of our speakers. So without further ado, I would like to move to the first keynote of today. And our first keynote speaker, we are extremely glad to have him join us today. Dr. Vinod Kumar is the director of the Promotion Directorate at InSpace in the Department of Space. Before joining InSpace, he was working for ISRO, the Indian Space Agency, as the head of Geocontrol Dynamics Design Division. He also worked as the Deputy Project Director for Attitude and Orbit Control Systems at the U.R. Rao Satellite Center, URSC, in Bengaluru. He's a fellow of the Institution of Engineers, India, and the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers. Before joining the U.R. Rao Satellite Center, he worked with the Indian Air Force on fighter aircraft control systems and also held faculty positions at the Regional Engineering College, Haryana, India, and at the SGA PML Institute of Technology, Rador, Haryana. Dr. Kumar, thank you very much for being with us today. It's truly a pleasure to invite you for our webinar. So you have the floor for the next 15 minutes for your keynote on the role of InSpace. And if you would like to share your screen, if you have slides, please do it. No, you have the floor. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor, for a nice introduction. And I really thank my Sport Sarawai friends to give me this opportunity to share my views with all of you. Very good afternoon to all. I will be sharing my screen now. Whether my screen is visible to all, please.
Yes, I can see it. If you can put it in full screen.
Full screen, yeah. It went to full screen?
Not yet. Let me tell you when it's here.
Is it now full screen?
No, not yet. I cannot see it yet.
Does it reach there?
No, we are still on the application view on slide number 1.
Slide number 1, full screen is not coming.
No.
Right. So I think there may be some issue. What I will do, I will try to share it again.
Yes, please.
As to why it is showing 2. Why it has 3 slides? But why it shows 3 slides? But like this, you are able to see now.
No, now you're not sharing your screen anymore. I think please try to reshare.
Okay, okay. I will reshare with the app. I will go to app. Share. Is it visible?
Let me see. Yes, not in full screen, but I think we can.
I think better. I'll do it like this, slightly bigger.
Yes. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine. So thank you again once more. So my very interesting talk is space industry promotion in India, the role of InSpace. So basically, as this my beginning slide shows, that InSpace is the central, which is promoter, InSpace is enabler, InSpace is authorizer, and InSpace is supervisor. These are the 4 roles which we shall be operating about. So moving to this, our Prime Minister has given us a very big boost, and it is his vision. So what is his quote? What he has told that India has the capability to bring revolution in the Indian space sector. What he says that, watch this space. InSpace is for space, InSpace is for pace, InSpace is for ace. So that is the reason he says that the speed and uniqueness by which InSpace will bring is his vision that can bring the revolution in Indian space industry. Moving on, the organization structure of this is we have InSpace board, which is chaired by our chairman in space. It will get input from Space Commission and the Department of Space, and it is having 4 directorates: Promotion Directorate, Program Management and Authorization Directorate, Technical Directorate, and 4th is Legal, Finance and Administration. This is division, this is not directorate. So 3 directorates plus 1 division. So that is the structure. Each of us role is decided. As you know, promotion, I will discuss it in detail, is responsibility for building IT infrastructure for InSpace, digital work platform. So digital platform will give the applicants complete automation, no paperwork. It will be a digital workplace, which we are working on. Reaching out to private industry, designing the courses for students, and any recruitment process, etc. Collaboration with international entities, transfer of technology, etc. Program management and authorization is expected to act as a single window agency, because all other government department, it will coordinate and try to issue the authorization as early as possible. Then 3rd is technical directorate, will be responsible for technical evaluation of proposals, clearance, MOU signing, hand-holding, etc. The mission-wise, each of promotion directorate has devising strategy and vision for Indian space sector, industry outreach, international outreach, public outreach. Enabler role will be nurture, support, and upbring space startups, enable access to ISRO facilities and technologies, facilitate investors access to startups, build a space ecosystem for private entities. We have 2 more roles which I describe: authorizer, authorize space activity. This I have covered. It will act as a single window agency, provide expert guidance to NGOs with the supervisor role, facilitate the design review, etc. Then what are the InSpace verticals? So we are supported by ISRO. We are very fortunate and championed by InSpace. We have a launch vehicle segment where we have PSLV, GSLV, SSLV, etc. We have a space segment. We have communication satellite, navigation satellite, Earth observation, space sciences missions. Space application, we have the data processing, data products for ocean monitoring and weather monitoring, a fleet of satellites. Ground stations, we can provide support in ground station. Data processing, we have very advanced facilities in India. And space promotion, which we are trying to reach now in Indian industry, public relation, student affairs, technology transfer, international relations, which we always cherish our association with Japan. Japan and India have been a natural ally, and they are the good friends, and we hope we will work together. Some of the applications I am additionally listing space application like Earth observation, navigation, meteorology, and many applications which we have implemented. Around 60-70 ministries has implemented crop insurance, crop intensification, soil health card, Prime Minister's pet project, Clean India, watershed management, rural employment guarantee scheme, and many. See, it is a government of India's vision is minimum government, maximum governance. So with that, they are working and we are helping them to see. Now, next is what are our accomplishments till now? So as you see, the InSpace has received a total of around 67 applications from the industry. Till date, they are all startups. They include authorization, hand-holding. We got 10 applications for launch vehicle thing, 29 for satellite launches, space application and production ground system were 19 and research were 9. The applicants include MSMEs, startups, academia, and from large industries. Out of this, now we have signed 10 MOU in front of Prime Minister, and you must have watched it. Now, continuing this, this is just beginning, so our journey commences now. So we are very happy with the kind of support Government of India has given for the investment in Indian space sector, and we are coming out shortly with the policy, Indian Space Bill, and additionally FDI policy is also coming with the opportunities to invest in Indian space sector. You will see shortly many things. One of the promotional activity which we have done is a very innovative idea of development of space startup ecosystem in India. We are planning it on 24 June. I think our Japanese friends are well aware of it. The very interesting area which we'll cover in this, we'll discuss the space policy, Space Act from the experts who are the originator of policy. Then we'll discuss space economy aspects with the experts, those who are working in this. Keynote on strategy for growth of Indian space sector is there. Space industry panel, startup experience and ecosystem creator is a very nice panel where government and private players are coming together, startups and sharing their experience. Investor panel, I should thank Mr. Narayan and Ms. Susmita Mohanty for helping me to draw up this very interesting panel, and I am very happy that they all are coming and sharing our thoughts. And so they are with us on 24th. We request you to kindly visit our website and register and be a part of this event, the first event planned on the second birthday of InSpace. Thank you very much. Hope I am on time.
Thank you very much. You are perfectly on time, and it's great so that we'll have a lot of time for the panel, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of questions because that's really impressive. The various areas of responsibilities that you have at InSpace, and in particular when you describe the role of your directorate, I felt it was very interesting that you're in charge of both industry promotion, but also I would say promoting space towards the students in India, which is something that is not sometimes directly covered by organizations doing industry promotion, but that is in fact very critical for the long-term sustainability of the program. So this was, I think, very interesting, and I hope we can talk about it a bit more later during the panel. So thank you very much. For now, let's move to our second keynote before the panel. Our second keynote speaker from Japan is Mr. Shinichi Takata. So he's advisor to the director and J-SPARC producer at the Business Development and Industrial Relations Department at JAXA. And I will explain what J-SPARC is. Before that, he was engaged in rocket engine development and systems integration of the H-2A launch vehicle, in development and operations of the H-2 transfer vehicle, HTV, and in the international coordination of the International Space Station program in Houston, Texas. After returning to Japan in 2017, he launched the J-SPARC, which means JAXA Space Innovation through Partnership and Co-Creation. This program is promoting multiple value co-creation activities aimed at improving JAXA's R&D capabilities and creating new private businesses. Takada-san is also a co-founder and director of Spaceport Japan Association and graduated from the Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics of the University of Tokyo. Takada-san, you have the floor. Please share your slide if you have some.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a moment.
Yes, thank you. We can see them well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for the introduction, and also thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. So my name is Shin Takara from JAXA Business Development and Industrial Relations Department. So today I want to explain about the space industry promotion in Japan and also the role of JAXA. So this is today's contents. Then first, let me briefly explain about JAXA. So this diagram shows the relationship among the space-related organizations in Japan, including JAXA. So JAXA is a national research and development agency under the jurisdiction of 4 ministries: mixed and the cabinet office and MIC and METI. And as of October 1st, 2003, 3 Japanese agencies, aerospace organizations were integrated and established, and JAXA is established. The budget side and the number of employees are shown in this picture, figure. And this page shows the JAXA's role in Japan's space activities. In addition to the rocket and space science and disaster monitoring, security, satellite data application, international cooperation, environmental and climate change, and telecommunication and communication positioning, and industry promotion. And this part is mainly handled by our department. And this page is a summary of JAXA's mid and to long-term plan for fiscal year 2018 to 24. And there are 4 pillars for space, and from 1 to 4, and our department is especially in charge of the year 4 in particular. And from this page, I will explain about the status of space industry promotion in Japan. So this page shows the overall of the promotion measures taken by the Japanese government. And the horizontal axis describes their growth process on a time axis, and with 3 major phases: startups, growth, and the commercialization. And the vertical axis represents the value, and the left-hand side shows the initiatives taken by mainly JAXA, and the right-hand side shows the government's promotion measures. And for each of the 3 phases, JAXA had a variety of measures, of which the following are representative measures. So the indication of potential entrants and the consultation services, and the Space Exploration Innovation Hub to promote research for dual utilization in future exploration activities and ground-based business. And the JAXA investment function and JAXA approved venture business startups support, and the promotion of the Space Innovation Partnership, J-SPARC. So I will explain it later in detail. And expansion of the on-orbit demo opportunities, and the launch vehicle and the CubeSat mission expansion program based on the industry-academia-JAXA collaboration. I will also explain about it in later. And the promotion of risk, money supply, and new procurement from the private sector. Of these, the measures marked star with a star, though our department is mainly responsible for. And other initiatives by JAXA are related to the new business promotion are as follows: co-sponsor of the S-Booster program, which promotes the discovery and the development of the space business ideas. And the JAXA label, so a certification of system. This is the certification system for products created using JAXA patents, technologies, and copyrighted works, as well as for the products created through the collaboration between JAXA and private companies. And facilitation, then facilities and equipment sharing and the promotion of the private company's entry into overseas market, and the cooperation with the local government, and the development of specialized human resources. And I will now explain the two programs in particular, the J-SPARC and the Mission Expansion Program. So J-SPARC, they're officially named JAXA Space Innovation through Partnership and Co-Creation, is the JAXA Research and Development Program that aims to create the space industry and enhance JAXA research and development simultaneously. And the private companies and JAXA aim to create the new space-related business and technological innovations through concept study, co-creation, and activities and joint business demonstrations. The conventional space development is conducted in a country step-by-step approach with JAXA obtaining budgets and while obtaining information from the private sector through RFIs and RFPs, and JAXA conducting development and demonstrations, and the programs that can be commercialized being transferred to the private sector in the final phase. And this approach is still used and very useful for more challenging missions, such as exploration. And J-SPARC, on the other hand, is a co-creation process, in which the private companies and JAXA will co-create the concepts based on the business ideas from the private sector in an early cycle, first cycle, and develop and demonstrate them together, and then aim to create the business in the private sector. So to date, we have developed the co-creation activities in a wide range of fields, from transportation to the satellites and the orbit service and the robotics, and have already succeeded in commercializing 4 of them. Okay, and lastly, I'd like to introduce you to the transportation and the CubeSat mission expansion program, a collaboration between the industry and academia and JAXA, and which have just started in May 2022, so last month. So this is also our R&D program and realize CubeSat satellite missions and through collaboration among universities and companies and JAXA, and utilizing the small private sector run services. So it also aims to encourage the diversification of the transportation service in Japan. And it also contributes to the creation of opportunities for the startup companies to take on the challenge of the technological development and to strengthening the Cube satellite technology and the utilization community. So JAXA will participate as a core researcher, and the mission will be implemented by integrating the JAXA research results. We expect that, and we will promote numerous missions, technologies, and human resources to emerge from this program. So please check the following website for the latest information on the activities of JAXA Business Development and Industry Relations Department. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Takata-san. It's really impressive how much JAXA has established in terms of the variety of programs, the variety of targets, and in particular, what you were mentioning at the end, the concrete cases of already 4 co-creation activities that were commercialized in such a short time, because as you explained, J-SPARC is very young in a way. So I feel that it's really promising for the future. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions about that. So yes, let's now move to the panel. Thank you again.